there. I think that's the right one. Yes. So, okay, everyone, welcome. I am so very, very excited. I have missed these kids. I'm not calling you kids. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I have missed you guys so much. And I'm just very excited to have you here and share your experience and really just tell the students and everyone here who's made it, the things that you've accomplished after your life at CSM. I know we've met 2 weeks ago to kind of go over things, and just hearing your stories number one, you've always inspired me, even as students at CSM, but even your journeys after CSM, you're still continuing to inspire me. And I'm, getting up there in years, but you making me feel like I need to go back to school and really like focus on stuff. But you guys are amazing. I'm so excited you're here to share your story. And there's about nine of you. So I think how we'll do it is I'm going to start with the first person I see at the top of the screen, and then you could pass it on to the next. And we'll have question and answers afterwards, after everyone's finished presenting their beautiful stories of life after CSM. So I'm going to start because I see you, San. I see you. You're first.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai-san, but I usually go by just San. So I am a student from Macau, and I started at CSM in fall of 2016. And during my time here, I just loved the environment, and I loved how much support we get as international students. And gradually, I just want to join to become an ambassador. And I joined I think it was fall 2017, until I transferred in summer of 2018. So I worked there for a year. So after my time at CSM, I transferred to Los Angeles, and I went to Cal State Northridge to continue pursue my degree in film production. So after I transferred, I finally decided what kind of concentration I want to do, and I settled with film editing. And then, the rest it's just like more hard work. And then I graduated in May of 2021. And now I am a freelancer. I worked on, films on a gig basis, and I would edit some stuff, do some visual effects sometimes, so all that good jazz. Still trying to figure my life out, but it's fun. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much.
So who do you want to choose to go next?
Next to me is my girl, Fatima.
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm Fatima. I was born and raised in the Philippines, but before coming to the US, I was a student in Singapore. So I stayed there for quite a while and transferred to CSM, where I stayed for 2 years. So I worked with Silvana and the whole team from 2016, I believe, until 2018, after which I transferred to UC Davis and I majored in economics. So I graduated from UC Davis, I think it was last year, where everyone did not get, in-person graduation. So it was a bit weird time, but it's fine. I still got the degree. And right now I am working as a research analyst for a healthcare company in San Mateo. And that's my story. So I will be passing it on to Queenie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Queenie, and I'm originally from China. And then I go to CSM on 2015. I was the ambassador on 2016 until I transferred to UC San Diego. My major is computer science. And then over there, I get to do a lot of amazing project. There's one like we have a relationship with the record system over Timana, building a mobile app for their ambulance system, which is really cool. And then we get to check out the hospital over there and see that they really have like limited resources in their medical system.
It's the best major.
Thank you. And then I continued to get my master's degree in UC San Diego. And then during that, I have an internship in Facebook. And now I was a full-time machine learning engineering in Facebook. I will anonymous Ver, maybe.
So I'll go next. So hey everyone, I'm Veer and I'm originally from Mumbai, India. And I came to CSM, I think in 2016, fall of 2016 with San and Fatima. We were in the same cohort and all three of us were ambassadors together as well. And throughout my journey, I feel like CSM has always been there for me in terms of support and helping guide me through sort of my American college experience. They've always been there, be it for personal problems, academic stuff. And even when I went to college, which was in 2018, I transferred to UC Santa Barbara and I did computer science there, same as Queenie. And even in college, there were times when I had to sort of reach back to people at CSM for support and they were always there. And I sort of enjoyed the small community we had built. Because when you go to college, you're going to be in a class of like 70, 80 people. You're not going to have that same sense of community that you had at CSM. So that was definitely very special to me. And I went on to do a few internships at smaller health tech companies while I was at CSM and once I transferred as well. And I'm currently working in San Francisco as an iOS engineer for another health tech company. And yeah, so that's most of my track so far. So I'm going to pass it on to Suhana now.
Hello everyone, my name is Suhana and I'm an international student from Nepal. I was an ambassador from June 2018 to August 2018. I worked with like amazing team. I miss you guys a lot, like all of them a lot. And I transferred to University of Texas in San Antonio. Right now I am working with a person who's a retired chemical engineer and he's a social worker. So we're trying to bring an orphan to the States and it was always a dream of hers, like to come to the States and like get her education. And he founded this organization called Himalayan Hands. And so we're working on like different projects. So as soon as she comes here, like when she gets her visa, she comes here, gets her education. We are planning to like, he's planning to write a book about her. And then we're the person who's gonna be just taking care of like distributing the books among the Nepalese community and the Americans as well. And other than that, my major is management information system. I forgot to mention that. I'm currently looking for internships and I've been doing like different projects with my university right now. So that's basically it. Yeah, thank you.
Who do you choose? Who is the next? Who's
Sorry.
next? No worries.
Santosh.
So, hi everyone. So I am Santos and I was an ambassador till 2020 and I transferred to St. Cloud State University, Minnesota. And I was majoring in stat major and currently I am concentrating in data science. And during my student life at CSM, it was so much fun and I got an opportunity to work with our outreach team with Silvana and I learned so many things. And we did Instagram live and everything. It was like so good, and we were able to help a lot of students. And besides this, during COVID, I worked as a digital coach at City and Community Tech Network San Francisco, where I helped seniors learn technology and all those security stuffs. And I also worked at International Commission for Dalit Rights. It was a nonprofit organization helping for Dalit, the marginalized community in Nepal. And yeah, I had so much fun. And currently, and few weeks back, I went to California and at CSM, and it was a good moment to meet with Silvana. And I still see my pictures over there, and it feels like I'm still there, but I miss everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
would, yeah, I would choose Dilek.
Oh, am I supposed to go? I don't think so.
Dilek is still with us. We haven't. She's still. We're keeping her hostage. She's staying with us for a while. So, but Dilek, if you do want to say just a little something of what you're currently doing, you could do it. If you do want to say something, you can.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm actually one of the current ambassadors, and I'm gonna be actually graduating next semester, hopefully, if things go well. And I don't know what I'm gonna do after, so we'll see.
Perfect. That's good. Well, you're going to be a part of the next group of alumni ambassadors to come back and tell your story, maybe in a year or so. But yeah, thank you, Dilek. You could pass it on. You could definitely pass it on to the next person.
I guess who is the next person?
Maybe
Anton.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So my name is Anton, and I'm originally from Sri Lanka. So I first came to the US and CSM in 2015 as like a marketing major. Then I became like a student ambassador in 2016, and I left CSM at the end of that year and transferred to Ohio, cold Ohio. And I actually changed my major in Ohio at Kent State University to like an accounting major. But I had to say like why I changed my major was because of like the professors I had at CSM. They kind of made me realize like how much I like numbers. So like in my accounting class, I realized how much I like numbers, and I decided to change my major from marketing to accounting. Then I graduated with my degree in 2019 with my undergrad, and then I went on to do my master's in accounting as well. So I graduated with that during COVID in 2020, and after that I got a job with Ernst & Young, which is one of the big four companies in the US, around the world, I guess. So yeah, right now I'm living in Cleveland, Ohio, and that's where I am. Let's see what I can find in here. I guess Bella.
Hi everyone, it's nice to meet you guys. Hi Chris. I'm Bella. I'm an ambassador, or was an ambassador in 2015. Yes, 2015. I came with a large cohort of Malaysian students. I think there were like 16 of us, split between San Mateo and the other two sister campuses. During my time at CSM, I learned a lot of valuable skills, not just about trying to adapt to the culture here and trying to reconcile my background and the new American environment, but I also know how to develop myself professionally and how to assimilate myself in an American academia, per se. Silvana, Chris, Christina, Danny gave tons of coaching throughout my 2 years at CSM, and I'll never forget that, right after I moved I graduated from CSM in end of 2016. I moved to University of Pittsburgh to pursue my undergrad in economics and political science. And Silvana and I kept in contact throughout the entire time. I trust her more than I trust my own international student counselor, to be honest. Silvana would know, I would call her like throughout the summer asking questions about visas or about my studies, about like job opportunities. And then I graduated from University of Pittsburgh in 2019. And then I worked a little bit in investment companies. And after that, I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in supply chain. And I'm currently working with a big supply chain company there. We work out of our Indianola plant in Pittsburgh. And yeah, I think this is like a really valuable experience just to meet all of you guys again and see where we're at. Just reminiscing the times like, I don't know, like 3-4 years ago. Feels like a lot, but yeah, I miss that. And I certainly hope you guys, new ambassadors, have like really nice time at CSM. Yeah, I guess that's it from me. Nice to meet you guys all. I think that's it. I don't.
Is that it? Oh, that's it? Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get that back to the thing. I think, yeah, we're good. Did we get everybody? Yes. Okay, those stories are amazing. Amazing, amazing. I'm telling you, it's so inspirational. Everybody has achieved so much after CSM, and I love that your journey started at CSM. First of all, for us to be able to meet you and be able to work with you and get to know you as people. You're all wonderful, and I mean, I just know that where you're at right now, it's just going to continue to, you're going to advance so much, and you're still so young and you have so much more to offer everything. So I think that just hearing these stories are, like I said before, just super inspirational. And I know when we first met 2 weeks ago, I was super hyper, like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see you all. It's been so long. Like, this is so beautiful to have you all in one Zoom meeting too. And Chris, welcome. Your hair looks amazing. I love it. I love it. Chris used to work with the international program 2 years ago. I think you left us more than 2 years ago, probably now. And she was a huge part of the team too. So anyhow, I think this is beautiful. COVID hair, yes. Well, COVID hair is doing you well, Chris. Love it. Yeah, Chris, do you want to say something? You're such a huge part of this group too. If you wanted to say a little bit.
I just wanted to say how great it is to see everyone, and I watch you all from afar, you know, like through LinkedIn and Facebook and different places, and it's just so amazing to see all the incredible things you're all doing. It's I'm so proud.
Yeah, so proud. I mean, all of you, and I love the diversity. I love what all of you guys have achieved so far, and just with your majors, and you know, with Anton, you switching your major because of the inspiration, you know, that you had here at CSM. And I think that I would love to open it up to questions and answers. If anybody here has any questions for our students, and if not, I'll ask a few, or if you know anyone, our staff wants to ask them some questions too. But does anybody have any questions for our wonderful student alumni students? Anybody, any questions?
I have one while we're waiting for other students to come up with questions.
Yes.
Since we have a bunch of new students that's joining us on this panel to listen to all of you, what is one advice that you would give all of the new students to be successful at CSM and beyond?
Good question.
I think I can answer that. Just because how close I was with all the ambassadors and the counselors, you guys. I think the first and foremost is to know who you can trust, and definitely Silvana and all the other officers at the international office are really trustworthy and have your best interest at heart. And I think that was every time I had an issue, some personal conflict, I miss home. I want to eat something that I can't find. We used to have like international delicacy day, or like we would trade off some sort of dishes from different countries, and then we can try those dishes. And sometimes Silvana and Danny and Chris would actually go to some Oriental market to buy us those sweets and some desserts from our hometown. And I felt like that was really um, important to me, and just to build that relationship. And whenever I have issues with my studies as well, I've always gone to them first and foremost, not only because everything that as an international student, you're always scared of, am I violating my visa status? Am I doing this correctly? How am I going to go back and come back? Those kind of fears that you might seem as like irrelevant, but let me tell you, I've stuck at immigration because I forgot my I-20 coming back.
Yeah.
And I would say, yeah, just make sure you know who to talk to whenever you have problems is definitely the best way to start. Put your right foot into this whole education.
Yeah, that's great. It is true. It's really important to stay connected with the international office, just because you want to make sure you're on track with your I-20 and your visa, and especially if you're traveling, coming back, because you'll have to go to secondary. It'll be a whole big old mess. So yeah, definitely keep in touch with us when you arrive. But it's also a great way to just connect. It's like a home away from home. We really try to make that the vibe. That's what we hope to achieve for our international students. And through the pandemic, it has been a little rough just because everybody's online now. But hopefully when we're back on campus, we'll be able to rebuild that connection with our students face to face. And because it was probably one of the best parts of the job for me, is having that connection with you guys, with our students. And that's what I treasure the most, actually. The paperwork, we can wait on the paperwork, but it was the actual connection with you guys and the students, and that made such a huge difference for me, working at CSM. So you guys are wonderful. Does anybody else want to answer that question? Because it's a good question.
Can I hop on a little bit?
Yes, please.
I would say when I, how do I say it? Like, it's very important to keep an open heart and just, like rebuild your, almost like a family around you, your support system around you. Because when we got to the US for the first time, we're in such a vulnerable position. We basically just restarted our life. Everything that we know so far up until that point changed. So it's very important, to recognize what kind of supports we have, and and have an open heart, make more friends, and just know that there are people behind our backs to support us and make sure our journey goes great. So yeah.
That's a great point too. I think it's important for our international students to have that feeling, that sensation that they have someone they can trust. And I'm glad that we were those people. I'm glad we were able to make you feel that way. That makes me happy. I'm talking very calm now because I'm going to get emotional pretty soon. I blame the baby. But I really, you guys were a huge part of my life at CSM. You are a huge part of my life at CSM. So I'm glad that we were able to make you feel that that comfort and that support that you needed to start this new life in another country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Savannah.
Of course. I'm staying calm, guys. I'm holding it in. Okay. Anybody else want to answer that question?
I can add on a little bit. So one of the major things I felt was you're coming to a new country and there's going to be so many opportunities that maybe you did not have access to in the country you came from. And also just being in college, there are so many clubs or after school curricular activities. You could go to the gym, swimming. So one thing I'd encourage people to do is just go out there and try everything.
Perfect. Yeah.
at CSM or at like the four-year university, when you if or when you do transfer, you're going to be showered with opportunities, and most people just don't acknowledge these opportunities and just like stick to their academics because you've come here to study, so you want to study. But you should definitely try to make your entire experience worthwhile by doing other things. Like, I'm so glad I was able to become an ambassador, and this was one of, I sort of at first I saw this as like, okay, I'm not sure I want to do this, but one of my friends was an ambassador and he spoke to me about it, and I was like, okay, this seems like an opportunity, like good opportunity for me. Maybe I'll try it out. And it completely changed my experience at CSM. So answering Chris's question that she had put in the chat was like, one thing you're glad you did at CSM would definitely be becoming an ambassador. I'm glad I became an ambassador. And one thing I wish I did was join more clubs. I wasn't able to join as many clubs as I would have liked to. There are quite a few at CSM. So if it's in person, definitely join a club.
Yeah. And we kept you busy. We kept you guys busy. I feel like we had a lot of events, and, you know, having you do tours or, you know, we were constantly having events. Like it was fun, but it was fun. It was worth it. Right. And then even if we had our Christmas, like our ugly sweater parties, like I remember those. I still have those videos of you guys walking down the hallway, and, you know, in our little cove when we were over on the other side. And there was just so much that we had you guys do that, you know, we had so much trust, and we knew that you were going to be you were great representatives of the center, you know, and helped other fellow international students. And so maybe there wasn't enough time to join other clubs because we were keeping you all busy. But no, it's great advice. Definitely, you know, try to get involved as much as you can. It's a great way to network. It's a great way to connect with other, you know, students on campus, domestic students, other cultural groups. You know, we have MANA, we have these amazing groups on our campus. And the clubs, you know, some of them are actually specialized for your major too. So you can meet people with like minds, you know, you could build robots together, or you can, you know, stuff like that. So it's a great advice here that, you know, stay as involved as you can, as much as you can. Of course, school comes first, but clubs are important. Being social is important too. Anybody else want to talk about what was the question? Okay. Okay, Santosh, thank you.
So one of the suggestions that I would like to give is that never be scared to talk with counselors, because they are there to help us. Because I remember like at CSM, though I did so many things, but one thing I feel that I could have improved on is I changed a major a lot during my time at CSM. I used to listen to too many people, and I would say I'll think that that major is good, and I used to change the majors every time. So I took so many classes, and it will have a little bit negative impact, like while transferring, especially like out of state, I would say. And though it didn't impact me too much, but I would say to any students like who is facing the same problem and who is still deciding their major, I would say talk to the counselor and know what you want to be in the future and what you like, so that it will be really helpful, because grades are not everything that determine like what you're gonna be in the future. Your interest is everything, and never hesitate to communicate with people, I would say, because in university you have to give a lot of presentations, you have so many projects, you will give so many interviews. So I would say to improve the communication skills, so join in clubs, International Student Center, and never hesitate to ask questions. I remember like I didn't have any experience like while applying to some of the nonprofit organizations. I went to Selvina to make my resume, and thank you so much for your help, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. It's no, that we're here for everything. I feel like we're, you know, one-stop shop. We can help you with a lot of different things, but no, it's also that's great advice too, Santosh. Is like, never be afraid if you have questions about what you're going to study, or what your career goals are. If you're not too sure, you could come to us, but we also have great resources on campus, our transfer center, our career center, of course your counselor, your academic counselor. You can go to Lydia, or there's so many people on campus at CSM who are there to help you. And yes, never be afraid. Our goal is to make you feel good about your choices, and help you along the path to your transfer school or whatever you decide to do after CSM. So good advice. Anybody else want to say a little something? Were there any other questions? Was there another question in the chat? I don't know if I'm reading the chat. I think I might have missed some.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes, please, Rasha. Yes.
Yeah, I apologize for not turning my camera on. It's not working today. I'm not sure why.
No worries.
We were talking about joining in different clubs and making sure we're part of different extracurricular activities. So how did you guys learn to strike a balance and manage your workload and manage your academics with your extracurricular activities and make sure you're on top of your academics? And when do we realize that, it's too much and strike a balance? Yeah.
That's a great question. That is very important, right? So anybody want to touch on that one?
And chip in a little for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'd say you really don't know what that balance is if you haven't done it before. So just go ahead and join the club. There's no harm in joining a club later on, realizing like, hey, my academics are a little more demanding than I thought they would be, and then leaving the club if you have to. So I suggest just like going for whatever opportunity it is. And obviously your academics come first. So if at any point your academics are affected by your other activities, you could just like tone down or be like, hey, I'll only come to every other club meeting rather than every meeting or something like that. So it definitely is a little bit of trial and error if you're not sure how to strike that balance. But clubs are not something that like once you're in, you have to stay in. So you could join a club and then leave if it gets too tough for you.
Yeah, I would like to add one more. So regarding the time management, I would say if you have something to do for tomorrow, do it early so that you have time. Because thinking that you have something to do tomorrow, and if you have time today, you can do it today and work on something for tomorrow, so that you will have plenty of time. Thank you.
Can I add something to it?
Yes, of course.
So I agree with both Veer and Santosh. I think it's important to find that balance, but you'll never find that balance until you don't actually, become part of these different extracurricular activities on campus and build a community for yourself, a family for yourself, really. But also thinking of Rasha, I was thinking about academics. And if you are thinking of transferring to a university, believe me when I say this, universities are not only looking at your academics, but they're also looking at what you have done on your previous campus in terms of extracurricular activities. So, building your resume in terms of academics, GPA is great, but also, finding a job on campus, becoming part of the overall student community, joining clubs, maybe even creating a club for yourself. All of this plays a really big role if you want to transfer to a university of your choice. I think that plays a big role. So not academics is great. And that's, yes, should be your first sort of, aim or a priority. But I think why we want you to join different extracurricular activities is because it makes you a better candidate for transferring to a four-year institution after you finish at CSM. And you also have a family, you build your own community and family.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. You brought in your your circle, right? You're able to you're going to meet a lot of international students because you're all in the same boat, right? You're all experiencing a lot of the same, homesickness. So there are things that you connect with other international students, but these clubs have such a variety of students from all avenues of life, and you'll be able to broaden that circle that you have. But like Mansi said, is that it's great for your transfer, it's great for your resume, it's great for that experience is something that you can actually talk about in a personal statement for your transfer. So it's very important to have that, definitely.
Yeah, and piggybacking on everyone's answers so far, when I was in Davis, I had this opportunity to work as kind of like an ambassador for my department. So I was in the Department of Economics, East Asian Studies and History. And because of that committee, I was also given a chance to be in the process of hiring the next batch of so-called peer advisors or ambassadors as we know it. And I support what Manasi said, that it is important that you join these organizations or clubs, because we will just look at your GPA once and then we'll consider everything else. That is the truth of the practice right now. And even with my current work, still helping out the company looking for potential employees, it's the same thing. Your GPA is one factor, but the way you show yourself in these organizations, the quality of your network affects your whole view as an applicant. So even handling your academics and all of these activities all together, it says something about you, mainly highlighting that you can handle multiple projects or multiple delivery dates or something of that sort, that kind of makes you like a gem in their eyes, because when you work, you don't usually work in one project. So being able to be flexible and mindful of your commitments is very, very, it's a one thing that you will need to highlight once you go looking for your work. In terms of practice, I agree with Beer. It's very hard to say how to strike that balance. But one thing that worked for me, and I work in the consulting industry, so the timelines are very hectic. It's very helpful to have a planner with you, and it depends on how you want to organize it. It can be day by day, it can be week by week, it can be month by month. But what worked well for me is to look at it day by day and weekly. And funny enough, in one of the interviews in UC Davis, they will ask you, how do you organize your time? So this is a very timely question, and it's a good thing that you're considering this. So right now you're at CSM, you'll have a lot of flexibility and a lot of time to explore. So my recommendation is do that now, and maybe look out for other platforms, maybe Google Docs or Google Calendar, and set it up with your phone. That way it will help you guide your time, and you'll see that you'll have more time for yourself once you get that balance.
That's great advice. Advice that I need to take.
Silvana, if I can piggyback on what Fatima said.
Yes, sure.
Yes, I agree 100% and more with what Fatima said. And also one more thing is, at CSM, you can make mistakes and learn from them, because we all make mistakes. So at CSM, you can make those mistakes at a smaller sort of scale. And as you progress and you're ready to fly out to the next big bad world, as they say, you have learned from your mistakes, you know what's going on. So that only sort of enhances the way you view your life. So I think that's important too. And we are here to support you and guide you, and also allow you to make those mistakes so that you can learn from those mistakes.
Totally agree with that. Actually, I would like to add more, because one thing I appreciated when I was still in CSM was that anything that comes to our mind as ambassadors, any event that would help student life be better, more welcoming, you'll feel at home, they're all willing to hear us out and basically organize the event, which inspired me when I was in UC Davis to actually put it in practice there as well. So I was able to come up with an event myself, and until now the department is still using it. So aside from making mistakes while you're in CSM in small ripples, start thinking of something that you might want to leave behind while you're in CSM, and then bring that to your new organization or your new university, because that might garner you an award or two. So that's one of my tips for success as well.
That's great. That's great. I did love that about, you know, the groups that we had in the past. You were able to create your own events that would help with, you know, we got to see your creative sides, right? And, you know, things that you would want to do for your, you know, you guys as international students, what would be something that you wanted to share with the whole community, or even just for international students? But that was really cool for me to experience, to see that creativity being played out. And Fatima, that's awesome that UC Davis is still using one of your ideas, right? Is that what you said, that they're using one of your ideas that you presented?
Yeah, so actually it's a little bit similar to what we have right now. The main audience would be the students, and it's an alumni panel where I was so inspired back in the pandemic, because I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to find a job.
Yeah.
And as you know, we're all international students. It's always a matter of going home or, you know, basically getting a job. And it was a very stressful time with the pandemic. You cannot go back to your family because of, you know, some of the countries closed down, and then you have this worry about work. So what happened was I just came up with the idea that, okay, well, I'm pretty sure the international community needs support in terms of looking for a job during this difficult time. And because the pandemic, you know, prolonged unexpectedly, until now they are having the event every quarter, I believe. So they last quarter, I was one of the speakers of the event. So they reach out to their alumni as well. And this doesn't need to be during the pandemic. It could be from years ago, from the recession, anything that is unusual in terms of the economy. But this wasn't very focused on the international community. So it's for everyone who's in the department. Yeah.
It's great. That is great. And it is necessary. Yeah. Especially for international students, it's hard to, you know, get the resources if you're not on campus as much as you would want to be. You know, it's so that session must have been really successful, obviously, if it's still going on. So congratulations for that.
Congratulations to them too.
To that, yeah. I mean, it sounds like it helps. It's helping, so it's great. There was a question too. I think Chris asked, what was your favorite campus event that you attended at CSM? International events, of course, but also other campus events. Why did you like the event?
I can start.
Okay.
I think it's not specifically like a one-time event, but my favorite was the Monday coffee.
Oh yeah.
I keep telling that because it doesn't just give you free coffee and bagel every Monday, which was a nice add-on, but it lets people who come early to just hang out and like know each other more. It's a gathering. It makes the corner where you guys used to have the office a little bit more welcoming. And where I've seen people who just arrived, never met anyone, never made friends yet, trying to find some companionship, some similarities. And then once you sit in the corner and just like with a cup of coffee, someone will immediately approach you and say like, hey, what's your name? I'm this.
Yeah.
And then you'll start like the ball rolling and open up the environment even more. And whenever I go somewhere like to a new university, I always look at how they treat their international students. And CSM so far is the only place that offers that kind of welcoming experience. It's not just a morning coffee, it's like making into a safe space for people to just make friends or feel at ease with everything else that's going. You know, that's just one of the many things I like about you guys. I think I asked you if you still run it, but obviously with the pandemic, it's not possible.
Yeah, it's been tough. We're not doing it. We haven't done it in 2 years now, I think. So but it's something that, I mean, I would say that was probably one of the best things, even for me too. I think that having that, it wasn't about the free coffee. It was about the, meeting new people, and coffee and food always brings people together. I feel food in general is just, it's like therapy a little bit, where it's comforting. And I think that I think that was also something that, back in when you were ambassador, and for those who were experiencing the coffee mornings, the Monday coffee mornings, is the vibe was just different. Right now it's harder because nobody's really on campus, but it was warm. It was very warm and welcoming, and you're able to share a cup of coffee with somebody, have some time to talk to somebody new, whoever showed up. So that's probably one of my favorites too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Can I say something, Silvana? I'm gonna be bold when I say this.
Okay.
I do want to bring that back. And for spring semester, we are hoping to have more students on campus. We want to see more faces. We miss that interaction. I miss giving hugs to my students. We really do miss that. So we are hoping to bring that back in spring. Don't know if it's going to be coffee and bagel. It'll be something similar, hopefully. But we want kids to come into our space and interact with us physically. And we are working towards it. So I'm going to put it out there, Silvana, Remy, and Shalvina. We are going to do something similar.
I think
and alumni to come visit us too.
Yes, you guys come visit us. I know some of you are in the Bay Area, so no excuses. You'll have to come visit us. Beer, I'm looking at you. San, you can take your car up and drive it up here, all right? So head on up.
I'll fly up.
And Fatima, I know you're here too, so I'm gonna take tabs. Suhana, I know you're probably the farthest away from. Oh no, Bella, I think you're the farthest away from us right now. No, maybe Anton too. Anyhow, I love that you're all diverse, but when you're back to the Bay Area, you have to come visit us. Spring, like Mansi saying, hopefully we'll have coffee mornings again. It was definitely, it made a huge difference, I think. It's there's no expectations, right? You just go enjoy your time before you start school, your classes, and you just relax. So
yeah, and then you get to talk to people, and
yeah, such a good touch. I love that about the program. Anybody else have a favorite event?
Yeah,
I do have a. Oh, sorry. Am I back?
Go
Oh,
yeah.
Santosh, you go first. Sorry.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. For me, it has to be World Gala.
Oh yes.
I love it. So World Gala is this event where it's this whole big event. We will pick a night, and then the International Student Office would organize all these performances, and then food, and then everyone, like, no matter it's international student or not, like, everyone comes together and watch these performances and have a huge cultural exchange just in one night. And I love it because it's, like, you get to learn so much about other people's culture while, your own culture, you feel like you're being seen, like people appreciate your culture. So it's such a super fun event, and I learned so much more about the world and everyone's culture, and it's always fun, and you get to eat great food from all over the world. It's as international student ambassadors, it's always a little tough organizing it, but it's always so much fun, and it's totally worth it. And then the night would just end with everyone get onto the dance floor and dance the night away. So it's something that I really, really love about the program, this event.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of work, but it was worth it. The work was worth it. Every year that we had it, so it got like bigger and bigger and bigger. More people started to join, more people wanted to participate, but just people wanted to attend. And that was amazing. I mean, the last World Gala that we had on campus, I don't remember how many people showed up, but it was packed. packed, and it was so successful, and it was amazing. I really can't wait to do that again. Maybe spring, hopefully spring, but I'm gonna miss this one too because I'm gone all spring semester. But I missed one spring semester with my first baby. But I love World Gala. So for our new students, if you're starting in the spring, hopefully we get to do this World Gala. It was fun. There was a fashion show, dancing, food, like Kasan said. There's so much fun. Yes, I will come as audience for sure. I hope you guys do it. Do it. Make it happen, please. It's so fun. Yeah, and that actually started with Bella's group, I think. You guys, we were thinking, I remember Danny and Chris, I think you guys approached the ambassadors and asked them, what's something that you really wanted to do that you couldn't do back home? And a lot of you were like prom, US, the prom in the US. Like we don't have prom and we don't have these like dances, and so that was the inspiration, I think, for World Gala. And being that you're international students, putting the international vibe on it made it even more special. It's not prom. Prom is definitely just like dancing, and some people not even dancing, just standing along the wall. Prom is different, but it was so fun just how it was originally organized, and every year just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It was such a success, such a wonderful success.
If I can add something, it's like every World Gala has their own theme. I remember the one that we organized is like masquerade. So like people are all dressed in their, like clothing from their culture, but then they also have a masquerade, like they have a mask on. So it's like such a cool thing to see.
Yes.
You don't get that. You don't get there, like in many other places. So
yeah, it was really fun. We had disco theme ones. Neon, I think the first one was like neon colors, and I forgot the fourth one. We've had 5, I think, right? Casino, did we have like no, we didn't do casino, and I don't remember the other ones for some reason. I'm drawing a blank, but each theme was so fun. So hopefully that is something we could do for spring 2022. And of course, you're all welcome. Of course, the invitation will go out. Yeah, anybody else have a favorite event? Veer, yes.
I was just going to say there's another question in chat for whenever we're done with the question. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Something's popping up on my computer. Okay, let's see. What's the other question? Oh yes. Is it from Nagi? I'll answer that separate. It's about his application or your application. Yeah, I'll answer that afterwards. But yeah, if anybody else wants to talk about their favorite event, any other favorite events that you have?
Yeah, I was about to tell you.
Oh yes.
So I don't remember the event name, but it was like we ambassadors, we did like immigration officers and all those things, and the professors, like they were as students, like coming to the United States and going through the immigration process. I think Chris knows about it too. She was there during this event. Yeah, we had so much fun. And like when professors came to the immigration, I was the immigration officer and I asked some questions, and I didn't like give them the opportunity to enter unless they answered my questions. I used to say, why did you come to the United States? And they used to be like, to work. No, you got rejected. Yeah.
So funny. That's awesome. I know that was, I think I missed that event. I forgot why, but I remember you guys telling me stories about it. It was a lot of fun. It sounded like
it was a flex day event so that we could educate like faculty and staff about what international students go through. So they went through the whole process of an international student from getting admitted all the way to like once they're ready to graduate and do OPT.
I love it.
I love it. I think we're going to do that. That's something we are going to do.
It was such a great.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to say it was just so great for the faculty and staff to really understand, right?
Yeah.
Like we did Immigration Jeopardy, remember? So they had to try to answer, questions. It was very fascinating, and they walked away so excited to have learned so much.
No, and I think it's really important for faculty and staff to understand what each and every student goes through from the point of application through visa, office interview, and beyond. So I'm glad, Santosh, you brought this up, because we are going to do that event. I love it, because I think every person on campus needs to know how much our international students endure in order to get here and beyond. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we should
I don't know this event, but that sounds so much fun and educational. I feel like that opens up a lot of conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of our professors and other staff and faculty, they know of our international students, but like Chris said, they don't know what you guys go through to actually get here. And, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of planning. It's, and Santosh sounded like a really tough officer though, but you do find those officers, like there are those officers. And, that's great. You kept it realistic for those who attended, but I think it'd be really fun to do that again. And I think that'd be great for when, a nice event for now that we're coming back on campus too, maybe next semester. I can say one of my favorites was World Chat. I loved World Chat because World Chat was, we had an international student would teach their native language for 30 minutes and actually share a bit of food and culture with the group who showed up. And I think learning the language, even just like basics, was so fun. So, just it's a benefit that we get having you guys as our international students. So, but it was also very casual, and it was fun to hear people try to, repeat what you were saying. And of course the food afterwards is always nice. But I love World Chat. Nuri, okay, I know we're almost done, but Nuri's here. So I think we need to let her just shine for, a couple of minutes and tell us what you're up to. Please, welcome.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm late.
No worries.
I'm Nuri. I'm from Malaysia. Do I still need to introduce myself?
Yeah.
I'm from Malaysia. I was an alumni at CSM. I graduated in 2019. And right now I'm doing my master's in journalism at Columbia University.
Perfect. And what are you studying? Did you say? Did I miss it? I feel like I blanked out.
I'm doing my master's in journalism here.
Journalism, yeah. So she's in New York City, guys. One of my favorites. Nuri, all of you guys, I know it's we're at the hour too, but I wanted to just thank everybody for being here. You guys are all so inspirational. Some of you have already received your master's. Some of you are currently getting your master's degree. And yes, Chris, hopefully we will see you, Nuri, on TV one day. San, we will see your name on the big screens too when you are in this huge production. I know that's coming. Everybody here has done so much in such a short it may seem like a long time for you guys, but the things that you've achieved in the last 6 years is amazing. And I hope that you have so much pride in what you've done and achieved so far, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful to hear your stories. I feel so lucky that you've joined us tonight. Oh, there's your cat. Fatima just showed her cat. And, just being that you're from CSM, it just makes me so proud to work here. You guys are just such an inspiration. I know I've said that like 5-6 times already, but I'm just really grateful that you took the time to share your stories with us, and even just to get together. It's like a mini reunion almost too. So for those who don't, who are just joining the CSM community, that, this is something to look forward to. We're going to try our hardest to make you feel welcome at CSM, to feel the warmth and feel like it's a home away from home. As you heard from our alumni, it sounds like everyone's doing really well. I will not take all the credit. Maybe Chris can take a lot of the credit. No, you guys did it really you guys are amazing on your own, really. We're here to support you, but you guys made all your choices, and everything that you're doing up until this point was all on you guys. And that's why you're so successful, is because you're amazing. So good job. So happy for you all. And we need to do this again, either on Zoom or in person at some point. But I miss you all. Nuri, I'm so sorry we cut it short for you. I'm so glad you joined us though in the end. And yeah, I'm really grateful. So thank you everyone for attending. This has been wonderful. And I didn't cry. I told you guys during our meeting that I was like, I think it's gonna come. I think it's gonna happen. It didn't, almost, but you guys are amazing, and stay amazing. I know you will. I have no doubt actually in that. And have a wonderful evening. And please stay in touch with us. And for our new students who are, hoping to join us in the spring, or who will join us in the spring, we can't wait to build new memories with you guys and meet you guys in person. That's hopefully going to happen. So everyone have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Thank you so much, guys.
so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. I love seeing you guys. Bye. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe.
Silvana, so good to see you.
You too. Oh my God. I was so proud of you. When I go to New York, because I probably will go sometime when we are able to travel, I'll let you know, because even if we go grab like a tea or coffee or whatever, like I would love to catch up with you.
Yes, please. I'll be here.
You'll be there.
I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here forever.
Perfect. No, I will reach out to you so we could catch up more. And either way, message me if you need me for anything. But when I'm in New York, for sure we're meeting up. For sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Bye, Silvana.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.